What's up, guys? I'm Mike D'Antonio, founder and CEO of StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have an amazing episode for you guys here today. We have a lot of important information to go over and a lot of good stocks to watch. So even though the market was a total letdown again today, the market barely moved at all. The Dow literally finished down 40 points. So it was a total letdown again. And there's pretty much no momentum, right? But with that being said, we do have good news, and we do have a lot of important information to go over, and there is a lot of good news. So stay to the end of the video, and at the end of the video, we're going to be talking about a $5.7 million option to watch for tomorrow. If you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe to see our daily stock market videos on your homepage every single day. And if you guys like this video or gain some value or watch some of the plays from this video, I would really appreciate if you hit that like button. The YouTube channel has been exploding lately, and me and Tom and I are very grateful for everyone who subscribes, likes, and comments. So with that being said, Tom, what should we watch for the market for tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely watch for Powell speaking from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. He's going to be having a virtual discussion with Cleveland Fed President Loretta Mester, and that's definitely going to be the main indicator in the markets tomorrow, and that's definitely what's going to make the markets move. So definitely watch for that around lunchtime tomorrow. So it's going to be around the end of the day whenever the markets are generally less volatile. But keep in mind, it's going to be a very volatile Friday with him speaking, because he's been the one to watch all week long. And we can see that if we look at the charts here, he's been talking all week and just really making the market. I believe the market was trying to go up all week, and he's really honestly been keeping it down with all the stuff he's been telling Congress about the market being kind of terrible right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's so uncertain because on Wednesday of last week, he said some really bad things about the market, and the market tanked 1,800 points, right? But now this week, he kind of changed his stance, and he's a little bit more optimistic, but at the same time, he's not super optimistic because the market is still so flat. So Powell's speaking tomorrow, like Tom said, it starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time. It should end around 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. The good news is that this is like the last talk that Powell will have for this week. Obviously, this is his third talk for the week, and I think after this talk, we're officially going to get a sense of direction. We've had a super boring week in the market, just sideways pretty much all week, and I think tomorrow we're really going to get a sense of direction to the upside or the downside. So we'll have to see what he says, but he is talking kind of like what Tom said, when the markets don't really move too much. So definitely keep an eye on that. And then, Tom, how about the jobless claims too?
Yeah, definitely. The jobless claims came in today worse than expected at 1.5 million unemployed. And that's really bad. And they were expecting 1.3 million. So about 200,000 worse than what they were expecting, which isn't too bad. And you can see the markets didn't really tank too much today. So it didn't really have too much effect on the market at all today. I guess the market's really looking more for Powell tomorrow, and like they were looking for Powell all week long as well.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
I think everyone's pretty much tired of hearing about Powell at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's been a boring week. The market was just a total letdown this week in terms of volatility. But the good news is that once it picks a direction, there's going to be a lot of just kind of built-in opportunity, because really nothing has been moving. You know what I mean? You have Spotify moving, you have Roku moving, a couple other big movers, but besides that, there really hasn't been too much momentum. So I am be excited for when we officially pick a direction, and I have a feeling it'll definitely be tomorrow. In terms of what direction, not totally certain yet. We're just going to have to play it by ear on what Powell says. So keep that in mind. But something kind of interesting that I saw today, and this is kind of off topic, but I was really looking through a lot of SPY options today, and I saw a lot of put buying. So I saw a lot of people buying SPY puts and SPX puts. So who knows what this could mean, but I thought it was very interesting, and a lot of unusual options activity on SPY to the downside. They can be shorting those options, but I think it's something to definitely keep in mind. Okay. And then also for tomorrow, we have what's called a quad witching. So pretty much what this means is it happens 4 times a year. And pretty much it's when stock index futures, stock index options, stock options, and single stock futures all expire at the same time. So pretty much what this means is a ton of different options are expiring tomorrow, and there's going to be a lot of volume tomorrow. Sometimes the market is a little bit volatile on these quad witching days. Not always, but sometimes. So I just wanted to bring that up to you guys. Pretty much, we have a ton of options expiring tomorrow across the board with indexes, futures, stocks, and all that. A ton of things are expiring tomorrow, and there's going to be a lot of volume. So keep that in mind. And like I said, I mean, we should get a direction sometime soon. I mean, we are so uncertain right now. Like the whole market is uncertain. It was just like a kind of like a flat week. I mean, what do you think, Tom, for the week ahead, maybe 2 weeks ahead? I mean, I know there's a ton of variables. I know this is a tough question because Powell's speaking tomorrow, and that can change everything. But what are you thinking for right now?
Yeah, I mean, right now, really, I'm just going based off of this channel alone. And we can see that this channel has been reacting very well with the markets. And the market did end up bouncing off of this bottom support about 2 or 3 times here over the past few days. And I did throw it up because of this very solid spike upwards I saw to this price level around $3,080 right here. And this is why I put it on here. But it's really been reacting well on this support. And really, I believe if it breaks this blue line to the downside and breaks this 1,000 SMA, then I'll be very bearish on the markets. And if the market ends up breaking this high up here around 31.56, then I'll be bullish on the markets for the next week. But like you said, just it's going to be crazy just sitting here trying to wait during this whole time because, we've been already waiting a whole week. And if we keep channeling between these two for like another whole week, that's just going to bring a whole nother aspect to the markets where we're just trading sideways. And it's just going to be a whole bunch more crazy trades where you're going to have to be trading pretty much day trades where you're trading channels and stuff like that. If you're trying to swing, it's not going to work out for you right now in this type of market.
Yeah, I mean, that's good insight. I don't think the market's going to be like this for the next couple of weeks. I think we're really going to get a direction probably tomorrow, latest Monday. That's just my opinion. But just for everyone watching, just for a clarification, Tom is on the S&P 500 futures chart right now. And what is the level for support right there? And what's the resistance level too?
The bottom level of support is going to be around $3,080, more like $3,075. And then the level of resistance is going to be right at $3,160, just about.
Awesome. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of opportunities, but they're on their way. So that's how I'm seeing it. And I'll definitely be looking forward to Powell speaking tomorrow. And now on to the momentum trade. So yesterday's momentum trade, the top one absolutely killed it, and it was Spotify. So we called this out in yesterday's video. I know a lot of people took advantage of this. Like I know people did very, very well off this today. Spotify broke right through our level. It was at like 205, right, Tom? Yeah, it was 205 on Spotify that we had it. And it exploded right through that. I know some people bought right at open because it was a breakout, and they did an amazing job. So huge shout out to everyone who took advantage of yesterday's momentum play. But for today's momentum plays, the first one is Spotify again. So Tom, what level should we be watching?
Watch for them to break $230.
$230. You guys heard it. So if it breaks above that, we'll be looking at Spotify in a bullish sense. The next one is APT.
Yep, watch for them to break 1750.
1750, again in a bullish sense if it breaks 1750. Next, we have ZS.
ZS, watch for them to break $116.
116, so you could watch maybe 115.50 or 116. If you want to play it like risky, you could do 115.50. If you want to be a little bit more safe, you could do 116. Next one, we have STZ. STZ.
Oh, STZ.
Yep.
There it is. Comes up at 184, 185.
Yep, 185. You guys heard Tom. If it breaks above 185, that would be the good momentum play. I think STZ can possibly be a good swing too. But in this market, we're in a very, very, very weird market right now. So I definitely wouldn't bank on it. But I think STZ is could be a good momentum play. I mean, a good swing trade too. And last but not least, we have Roku.
Yeah, Roku killed it today as well. Watch for them to break 130.
130. So, yeah, you guys heard Tom. Again, these are all bullish trades if and only if they break the levels we have listed. Roku can also be like maybe they're already 3 days in their uptrend. So I give it maybe 1 or 2 more days if it does break. But Roku is known to be a multi-day runner. So, but I'm excited for Spotify. They have a ton of momentum. And personally, I did not get in calls. I should have, but I missed it. But honestly, I think this is going to be a great opportunity. And I would say probably on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, to sell call credit spreads on it. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, this is really upsetting me, Mike. This was a great bull flag we saw here. We definitely should have gotten into this play. It's one that definitely has me a little bit upset, but it's one of those lessons that you just have to learn, guys, and just keep in mind that every day there's going to be something that you could have gotten in that could have made you money that you didn't. So no matter what you look at, you just have to have that same mindset every day that even if you had that losing trade and other trades won, that just that's just how it is sometimes, and you can't make every trade in the market every day.
Exactly. Like that's the thing. Like I had some good trades myself, but can't catch them all. And I'll definitely catch it in a couple days, like next week, to the upside with call credit spread. So I'm excited for that. But now on to the $5.7 million options trade for tomorrow. So we are looking at Roku again, and we are looking at the 130 strike calls that expire this week, meaning tomorrow, June 19th. So these calls are right at the money, about $5.7 million put into them. A lot of money, especially for an option that expires tomorrow. So right now, it looks like they could definitely be buying these options where Roku can be a good trade to the upside. But, we are in the third day of the uptrend, so I'd be careful with it. But if it breaks the levels we listed for the momentum, I think it would be a good trade at that point. If it doesn't, then I would just say stay away. So yeah, so now we're going to answer everyone's questions from the previous episode. So we have with the first question, we have David saying the market is very skeptical right now. I'm looking at SPY puts tomorrow because I'm shooting for a super red Monday. 14% for Spotify today. I think it could run another 68% Friday. I'm still holding one contract. So awesome job, David. And, the market is very uncertain right now. I saw a ton of SPY put buying today with unusual options activity. I don't know if that means anything. They could definitely be shorting these puts. But, if Powell says something negative tomorrow, I definitely see a lot more downside for the SPY. So keep that in mind. And awesome job with Spotify. Next one we have, let's see. We have you saying A+ again, Spotify. I need to get on your team. I've been following you for a week, and you haven't failed me wrong on $1 amount. Let's see. I'm joining. Awesome job. Keep up the good work. So thank you so much for that comment, you. We have Chow saying, thank you, Mike and Tom. Should I stop loss my July puts? So I recommend always having some sort of stop loss. I mean, whether it's a certain amount or I always recommend you never want to let your losses fully expire. You know what I mean? So it depends on your situation, depends on what options you have, depends how far out of the money you are, depends how much you're down, depends on your risk tolerance. But either way, I would never let losses just expire, you know what I mean, fully. So keep that in mind. We have what's up with AMD going up or down. So what do you think about AMD, Tom?
Yeah, AMD, I really liked it to the downside today. They had a lot of downwards momentum after the open. At open, they did fly up, but then they had a lot of downwards momentum. And for the long term, I'm obviously bullish on them because they make a lot of great stuff. But for the short term, I am kind of bearish on them because they do look like they're having trouble breaking this resistance up here around $60. It looks like they've hit it a few times now, and they're having trouble getting through. But if they do break that resistance up there, I will trade them to the upside. Obviously, I'd be looking for kind of like a move like Spotify, how they broke their highs and then flew up. That's kind of like what I'd be looking for on AMD if they broke 60. But until they break 60, I'm definitely going to be on the bearish side.
Awesome. I can see they're trending up slowly in after hours right now, as is the market overall. The market had a couple pretty big green candles, so that's some good stuff.
Yeah, as we were talking, it kind of shot up here on this 5-minute chart.
Let's see. With the next question we have, with how the market has been over the last week, I think a market crash is incoming. I think it will be a slower one for about half a year. The market in general will be going down. I'm probably gonna start selling tomorrow. That's what Andrew said. So yeah, I mean, good insight. I think a lot depends on what Powell says tomorrow, but also we keep in mind like the market overall is uncertain right now, and it all depends on which way the market picks as a direction, because the market really shouldn't have recovered how much it did in the past like 3 months, but you just can't fight the momentum of the Feds. So I think once we get a solid direction, whether to the upside or the downside, I think there's gonna be a ton of opportunity. Okay, and then we have, let's see, we have Alan saying, is Apple a good buy? Well, Apple is one of the top powerhouse stocks. They're the stock that you don't really want to short too much. They do a lot of stock buybacks. They're great as a company fundamentally. They led the market up. Like they were one of the top stocks that literally drove the market up. So like, yes, I think it is a good buy, but it depends on what you're doing. Like on the short term, and I think on the short term right now, it's a little bit too expensive. But for the long term, you can't really buy in at a wrong time, especially if you're holding for the long term. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. Next one we have. Let's see. We have Wilmo saying, "Thanks, guys. You're right. I think most of us should just sit back and chill. Don't get caught on having to make that trade. I'm new to trading and enjoying the learnings and trading a little here and there." So absolutely. I mean, like I've been saying for the past week, I think a lot of people, like a lot of, especially like beginner traders, are really going to be humbled this week in the market because they just kind of want to force a trade. Anyone who's looking to force a trade, now is not the time. There's going to be so much opportunity as soon as the market picks a direction. That I would argue that the market is more uncertain right now than it's been in the past 5 years. And when I say that, I mean like no one knows what's going on. Like we can see upside or downside. So hopefully that helps you. Let's see. So we have a question for Tom saying, did Tom ever buy back into his long-term stocks? If not, can he let us know when he does?
Yeah, I'll definitely let you guys know for sure, but I definitely did not get in yet. I'm definitely going to wait until after the elections because I believe that whenever the elections come around, the market will have a very significant move to the downside. But until then, I think I'm just going to sit on the cash and just trade these options until then. And I'm just going to keep my positions at a like about a medium position size. Now I'm not going to go too big, not going to go too small right now. I'm just going to keep it medium until after the elections, and then I'm probably going to go in really big once those are over. Once those are over.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you sold literally right at the top, so you can't beat that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I sold right at the top. I even sold it in the or in the after hours right before the day of the big drop. So that was very good to see, at least on my account side. But overall in the long term, I was a little sad to see a lot of those long term stocks go. But the thing is, guys, that's just part of trading, and you can't get too emotionally attached to these stocks. Even if you plan to hold them for 5 years, there's always going to be an opportunity to get back in there. And if you guys are trying to trade dividends and stuff, just keep in mind that if you make 20% on the trade and you make that 20% within 3 months, that's a lot better than holding for a whole year making like a 3% dividend. So
Right, exactly. Next we have, what do you think about PTON? Sam asked that. So let's take a look. PTON. They
yeah,
had
I've actually been really talking with a member in our Discord named Carol a lot about Peloton, and Peloton's been doing fantastic lately. I love it to the upside. They actually deliver those bikes to your house and allow people to exercise at home while using this like bike, and you're like renting it out for like a monthly fee. And it's a very cool thing to do. And I can't believe their share price is only $50 a share, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're still in the negative for earnings right now. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, this is just me speaking. I don't know too much about, like, I know what they do, but I don't know too much about the company fundamentally. So we have like a long-term stance on them. All I can tell right now is, look, it has a ton of momentum to the upside. It's definitely a good stock. It has a lot of sharp rises. And even despite this market volatility, it's still doing very well. So with that being said, I think it is a strong stock to the upside. Okay. And let's see. We have next comments from Chris saying, hope we get a direction soon. I get bored sitting and waiting. I went all cash and suddenly have time on my hands. So thank you so much for that comment, Chris. You've been with us for forever when the channel is like less than 1,000 subscribers. So thank you for that comment. And, I'm totally with you, but sitting all cash right now is definitely the smartest thing to do. It's the safest thing to do. And, especially not over trading. I think that's very smart of you. So thank you for that comment. Let's see. With the next question we have, let's see. Next we have back in it today, Spotify calls are wiping last week's losses off the board. Also, Grub, Snap, AMC, and WFC puts and Beyond calls. So let's take a look. Beyond did pretty good today. Not amazing. It did pretty good. Let's take a look at Grub. Grub did okay. Not the best, not the worst. WFC. Yeah, everything's kind of uncertain right now. So thank you for that. Thank you for that comment and amazing job on Spotify. We have Elijah saying always great content. So thank you so much for that, Elijah. We have Jacob saying good content as always. Do you think Twilio will continue with its momentum? So Tom, I will let you cover this one.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it to the upside. As long as they can break that high of yesterday at 216, and it looks like they're getting really close in after hours today, which is a very good sign. And they bounced right off the 100 SMA, and they bounced off of it there too. So it's even a double technical there. And I really like that. Those bounces off the 100 SMA are what you like to see. And if we see that bounce off the 100 here, and we break the high right here, like let's just say we pass up above 217 tomorrow morning, I'd really like this to the upside, and I think it could definitely continue up.
Absolutely. And then we have Jose saying, first, thanks for all your work, by the way. So absolutely, and thank you for that comment. So Tom, with that being said, do you have any last minute stocks, options, anything to watch for tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. The trade I'm going to be watching for tomorrow is going to be Pinterest. I actually drew a triangle here a couple minutes ago to show you guys this, and they actually popped right through the triangle in after hours here while we were talking. So it is working very well to the upside. They broke right out of the triangle. I'm definitely going to be watching this for a solid move up tomorrow. Their options are not too, I don't believe there's too much volume into their options. Their options are very cheap, like 20 cents for at the money options. So the options aren't going to be too well, but definitely watch for it if you're going to play it with shares tomorrow, because it could be a very good play. And they did break above some solid technical levels, and you could definitely make a solid like 5% tomorrow easily on this stock.
Absolutely. And I also just saw there's a lot of unusual options activity on the Pinterest 25 strike calls that expire July 17th. So maybe that could be telling something too. So keep that in mind. I think Pinterest could also be a good play. I don't love it just because of the overall market conditions. That's like my only concern. And guys, the overall market is very like neutral right now, very choppy. But I think tomorrow or latest Monday we'll definitely get a direction. And I'm definitely
And if you were going to trade Pinterest options, I would definitely go with the July 17th ones because they are definitely a lot better priced and move a lot more safely.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could get more time. The more time you get, the more safe the trade's going to be because the theta is going to affect you a lot less. Because sometimes you could pick the direction right with like a weekly option, but still lose money because of theta, which is time decay. But as I was saying, I'm definitely going to be paying attention to what Powell has to say tomorrow at 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. So keep that in mind, guys. And with that being said, Tom and I just really want to thank you guys so much for all the support, all the likes, all the comments, all this new subscribers. We're very, very grateful, and we are very excited to see how the channel is growing so much. You guys are amazing, and thank you so much for all of the likes and comments. That really, really, really helps grow the channel. So thank you guys so much for doing that. We really appreciate it. And if you guys want to trade the same options that Tom and I trade every single day, check out the Stocked Up Options Alerts link in the description down below. And if you guys want to see our daily stock market videos on your homepage every single day, don't forget to subscribe. Other than that, thanks for watching.